What is something that is a major waste of money? Many laptop insurance, warranty policies. If you actually read the terms and conditions, many of them are very restrictive and filing a claim is a painstaking process. Paid $120 for a 4-year warranty plan, and after accidentally dropping my laptop and breaking the screen, I was told my plan didn't cover accidental damage, intentional damage, misuse damage, etc. Basically the only thing that the plan covered was hardware malfunctions. And even if there was a hardware malfunction, the company got 3 attempts to repair the laptop before having to buy you another one or reimburse you, and the repairs could take months. Also, they made clear that even if they did get you another laptop, it wouldn't necessarily be new and would most likely be a refurbished laptop of similar quality. But none of that mattered in my case because the laptop was dropped and I couldn't recover. The worst part of all of this was the policy was actually called something along the lines of drop protection. Not all policies are like this, but in my experience the ones you get recommended while purchasing laptops off Amazon are the worst. Credit card interest and late fees. I recently checked my grandfather's credit card account while he was in the hospital to make sure everything was up to date. Despite holding $15,000 in a linked checking account, he was holding $8,000 balance on a credit card, paid late fees, $28 each, 4 times in the past 6 months, and because of the balance, the minimum payment amount was only paying off approximately $10-15 of the principal of the balance, while he was spending a few $100s a month for insulin and other medical supplies. And of course the payments submitted were the listed minimum payment amount. Interest charges alone were over $100 per month. Monster cables. I used to work at Best Buy in the home theater installation side of Geek Squad. As long as you're not buying dollar store HDMI cables, you don't need their cables for anything. I could buy it at cost, and I bought a couple and compared them to basic cables Best Buy sold. No difference. Doing the installations, they wanted me to sell the Monster brand in home. I would seldom recommend Monster if I could help it. There were certain metrics we had to hit in store, but on the road I didn't have to hit those targets. A while back, Tom's Hardware couldn't tell the difference between Monster speaker wire and lamp wiring. It's beyond overpriced. Televisions. High depreciation value. Newest models are substantially higher than last year's with little change in technology and features. Big houses. Why have a big fancy house when you can get a small one instead? If you need the big house for reasons like you have a big family, then that's okay. But if you are just one person, why? Home management too. If the house is too big for you to work on alone, you'll have to hire a bunch of people to clean and manage your home. Spending money on the house and home management, third party or extended warranties. Make sure it explicitly covers any failure. Make sure it's explicitly for replacement instead of repair. It's probably neither. If the failure you experience happens to be covered, good luck finding a reputable repair shop that will be willing to work with the third-party warranty company. They're notorious for not paying. Designer shoes. I got a pair of Jordan Waytevers that didn't fit me for a Secret Santa gift. Posted it on FB for like $80 and ended up having 2 guys get into a bidding war for it. Dude ended up paying $845 for a pair of shoes, man. Unbelievable. Where do I start? Commercial coffee, Starbucks, DD, etc., is a huge one. On a larger scale, it would be the inefficient use of resources in businesses. Processes done in a manner that wastes money, time, use, payroll. I am of project management background, so that stood out to me. There are other small ones that build up over time, like using paper products. But let us be real. In life we choose our compromises. Designer items. Honestly, quality is important, but $3,000 on shoes is stupid. You'll run out of cash soon. I think the people who spend like that are actually very careless. I've tried to change my thinking since I started a really high-paying job for a 20-something-year-old and still can't accept the spending. Maximum I'll spend is $500 for a really nice purchase, or probably totally with one shopping trip. My parents worked hard and did well. I'm not about to end up in debt for shoes and bags. I'd rather spend on a home or something else that'll be an investment. Most of the money spent on in-game purchases. Oh great, now I have 100 diamonds to get a new outfit that I probably could have gotten anyway with more patience. Sure, worth $35. Lol, surprise dolls. These are made out of rubber and tons of plastic. The entire interesting thing about it is that they package it somewhat interesting, with another ton of plastic, and it stinks like a cheap little kid's toy from China. Probably this doll is that too, but multiply the price by a 100. Gym memberships if you don't go to the gym regularly. You won't see any progress with your goals and you're wasting money. I'm not sure if this is an unpopular opinion, but I completely can't understand the large donations, gift sub bombs to big Twitch streamers. Seeing the top donors lists with people who've donated thousands of dollars to streamers who are already making well over $100K plus per year on subs alone. I understand supporting content creators you enjoy. I've subbed and donated to support content creators as well. But when I see people throwing hundreds to thousands at already well-off streamers, I can't help but think how much help that could do in a charity instead, or maybe invested. High-end graphics cards on 60Hz 1080p displays. If you don't upgrade your screen, you don't need an RTX 3080. Same thing goes for high-end PCs that only get used for 2D MOBA games and Steam indie games. Why do you have a 12-core CPU when you never stream and the most scientific thing you do on it is the calculator? Cables. All sorts of cables. Audio cables in particular, video cables too though. Special mention for pro audio cables. Instead of writing an entire dissertation, let me just tell you that the cheapest cables you can get your hands on are almost always just as good as the nice ones. The only reason to ever spend additional money on cables is for physical durability. If your cable will be subject to regular plugging, unplugging, or if they'll be in a high traffic area where they're likely to be stepped on and rolled over. Upgrading your smartphone every year. Sure, I understand if it breaks or some people need it for work especially, but most of us are just average consumers. There's no need to get a new phone every time a new expensive one comes out. And honestly, most of these new models are nearly the same as the old one. Save your money. If it works, then don't replace it. Funko Pops or any kind of pop culture collectibles. I used to collect the odd bit, like little statues, signed pictures and random collectibles. Then I got married and moved into a home to start a family and suddenly realized I don't actually want all this tacky shit in a new home. I literally couldn't give it away. It has absolutely zero resale value. Most collector's editions of video games. I bought a Fallout 76 collector's edition. Waste of €200. Haven't even played the game yet, still waiting for a single-player DLC mod. All you get is the game, maybe in a steel case. Then some plastic low-quality toys, posters, big case. The way I see it, anything that doesn't add to functionality is a waste of money. You honestly probably don't need the best phone, laptop, car, etc., and if you do decide to purchase whatever it is, you'll find your happiness quickly tapers off. That brand new iPhone you got a month ago? Now it's like any other phone to you, except this one was $1,200. Was it worth it to buy something exorbitantly expensive for that fleeting moment of happiness and satisfaction? It probably wasn't. Sure, it would be cool to drive an Audi instead of a Toyota. But it won't add any sort of extra functionality. I went from owning the newest iPhone to owning a flip phone. I just don't care anymore.